like I was saying, I had intended to be wearing my awesome Santa hat, my red and black one, but I cannot find the adapter for regular headphones to fit in, and I don't think this would look right with the. See, I don't think this. I don't think this.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
see,
doing.
this doesn't look right. This looks awful.
That's what I'm doing.
I know, and you look awful.
I don't see what the big deal is.
I guess a little. Just there, there, there. Are you guys happy? Are you satisfied? Are you not entertained?
Probably not, but
No, this show gets way less views than the anime stuff. Which, if you guys like anime stuff, we have anime stuff. And if you're one of those rare anime fans that actually does go around the other shows, thank you for being here. What's up, Manny? Nice hat, man.
thank you.
And I see you attempted to copy my hat.
No, didn't want a red hat. That looks stupid.
Some really close to Raiders colors there, bud.
This black's my favorite color, so there's nothing I
It's
can
the
do
best
about
color.
that. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. They share a color with the team.
Yeah, I love that. I love that joke in the Simpsons movie, which was way better than it had any right to be, given how low quality the Simpsons had regularly become on its show. But the movie was great, and they're like, they got those like watch levels for the environmental hazard, and then he's like, this is a code black or something like that, and Lenny's like, not black, that's the worst color, and he looks at Carl, he's like, I'm sorry, Carl. It's like, oh my god, the Simpsons still able to get some clever social commentary.
The best joke,
in there.
that they had in there was Lisa's trying to explain the situation. Also, I mean, I think it's the same scene, and she's trying to
Yeah.
control the lift, and like it's like not working properly, and then but she like thinks she got her point across about the dangers, and she's like, "Do you guys understand what I'm saying?"
Yeah,
And
we got to
then
do something about that lift.
yeah, so we gotta get a new one of those. And then the mayor's like, all in favor of the new lift, say aye. They get a new lift.
Like I said, it was way better than it had any right to be. And I also love the main bad guy in there when he's like, trying to plot his where he wants all the positions, a strong man, a weak man, or soft man, hard man, or whatnot. And he's like, his assistant's like, sir, I think you've gone mad with power. He's like, of course I have. You have you ever tried to go mad without it? Just makes you crazy.
Take
Anyways,
Spider Pig with you. He's not a Spider Pig anymore. He's Harry Plopper.
He's Harry Plopper. There we go. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. More than likely, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button if it's something you haven't done already. If you have, thank you very, very much. Actually got quite a bit of stuff on the channel, like I mentioned earlier, dealing with anime, but we also have things for Marvel and Star Wars, a long form weekly podcast with a whole crew that doesn't involve seeing my face, only occasionally hearing my voice as I produce that show, Breaking Geek Radio. They've been talking about different things to do this week, so I'm not going to try to tease what they got going on Friday, but they will have a show up. So yeah, follow us on your favorite podcast app, and of course check out lrmonline.com every day for all entertainment news, needs, and opinions. I got a busy day today, Manny. After I get this episode up, we'll be getting ready to go do Busch Gardens. So I'm excited about that. My son is a big fan of rides, which my wife and I are big fans of rides and roller coasters. So we're a riding family, and we're happy about it. What do you got going on this Christmas week, man?
I'm fucking working all week, man. Just work. I work in the news business, so yeah. There's no.
And you're a lower man on the totem pole right now, relatively, right?
I'm kind of a middleman now, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely a middleman.
Which still means you're not getting the Christmas vacation days that the
my
top do.
my regular days off are Christmas, so
Oh, lucky you.
yeah, and I don't work weekends, so it just happened to work out that way that I'll get these 2 holidays off. But if I didn't get them, like, it would have been okay too, because double pay is not bad. So
No.
yeah, but usually I'm a digital reporter. That's my job title.
Mhm.
But I plug in holes whenever producers aren't available
Yeah.
to produce. So I step in, and regardless of the show, I'm able to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, Monday I worked 14 hours.
I know, which is
That
why
was
we didn't have a show
nuts.
yesterday.
Yeah, and then I had to turn around and be back at work the next day at 9 a.m.
Yeah, yay. I work here doing this. I'm able to thankfully enjoy the fruits of my labors in the military. They broke me into many pieces, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I get paid for that. But anyways, besides the Christmas stuff there at Busch Gardens, it's going to be a week of course favorite Christmas movies. Some we've already watched at least once in the last month, leading up to our big big two on Christmas Eve, of course. Muppets Christmas Carol, by far the best Christmas Carol ever, and the second best Christmas Carol ever, Scrooged, which Christine and I watch together every year. So yeah, I mean, Bill Murray Scrooge, classic. Do you like that one?
Bill Murray Scrooge? Which was that one?
Scrooged, where it's set in the 80s. He's the TV guy in charge.
That one's okay.
Oh my God! Why do you make me hate you like I hate Janet?
Because
when Janet was on the show, back when it was LR Mornings, I would have to deal with The Last Jedi is great. Now I got to deal with someone who just said Scrooged is okay. What are you, a huge Christmas Story fan? Is that your jam?
Nah, dude.
Okay, good. That's fiery. That one sucks.
Muppets Christmas Carol is my
absolutely
jam.
Great. Yeah.
So yeah, Scrooge is fine. Like, I don't know, nothing special about it.
I don't like the straight-laced Christmas Carol stories, like your ones with George C. Scott. Like they're fine. I get it. They're traditional, but I like the flair that you get from the Muppets, of course, and I love the angle, the at the time modern angle from Scrooge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just such a, even though it's got a great ending as far as the changed heart and stuff like that, it is such a dreary and long. And I mean, let's be fair. Charles Dickens bores the out of me. I mean, I cannot tell you how much I fought English teachers in school over books like Great Expectations, Christmas Carol, frickin' not even just Dickens, but other classics like Ethan Frome, and oh God, like I understand we need some classic literature, but it's time to update some of those things. It's just so boring.
I mean, maybe you're just different. I don't know. They're fine.
No, I'm pretty. Did you have to read Ethan Frome? Do you even know that book?
I didn't have to read it. No, I went to.
You're so lucky. So lucky. My sister's an English teacher now, and I have this argument with her all the time because she's one of those that's on Shakespeare's dick like no other. I'm just like, he's a hack. It was crap. Like, the best thing that he ever sort of wrote was Midsummer Night's Dream, and maybe Taming of the Shrew. Everything else is crap, and she does not like that.
I don't think a lot of people like that, but I am one of those who have always been intrigued by the conspiracy that there was no such thing as a Shakespeare.
Yeah, he's like a amalgamation of multiple writers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, you ready to get into some entertainment stuff? Because we gotta go down Gunn Street again, man. James Gunn dealing with all sorts of harassment online and people questioning the plan and things like that. He released a series of tweets. Excuse me, saying Kyle needs to write down a timestamp. Saying that one of the things Peter and I were aware of when we took the job as heads of DC Studios was a certain minority of people online that could be, well, uproarious and unkind, to say the least. I'm guessing you feel that's a reference to the Snyderverse fans? Because I feel like that's probably a reference to the Snyderverse fans. Our choices for the DCU are based upon what we believe is best for the story and best for DC characters who have been around for nearly 85 years. Perhaps these choices are great, perhaps not, but they are made with sincere hearts and integrity and always with the story in mind. That sounds like Gunn saying, hey, I know you guys might not understand it, but trust us, this is the plan. There's an actual plan, and it's coming from heart, not just money. Because honestly, if it was just about money, I think they would have reduced some of the projects that had been greenlit and going forward, but they would have a much more disparate universe, not one wholly connected, so they could just try to make money off of characters being in films. He said, we were aware there would be a period of turbulence when we took the gig, and we knew we would sometimes have to make difficult and not so obvious choices, especially in the wake of the fractious nature of what came before us. But this means little to us in comparison to our jobs as artists and custodians in helping to create a wide and wonderful future for DC. People going on to talk about whether or not they're excited about it. The recasting rumor came up. Things like My Time to Shine, we'll talk about in a second. More of their stuff saying, everyone is gone. Reports that everyone's getting rebooted or recasted except the Suicide Squad. Gunn came out and said, I keep seeing posts with this untrue theory. We're not recasting everyone except the Suicide Squad. And in another tweet, he said, I'm not sure where you're getting that we booted gal. Everything he says has a lot of wiggle room. For example, we're not recasting everyone except the Suicide Squad. Is it because you don't count Viola Davis as part of Suicide Squad and Blue Beetle, which comes technically from the previous and the Batman? Like, is that why is that the technicality? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's doing everything very, very politically, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, it is like ambiguous language. It's not attacking anyone. It's not being too defensive. Relatively, it's a good statement. But what do you gather out of it, man? What do you see in his mind?
I see somebody who just wishes people would shut the heck up for about 12 minutes, and stop. And also news outlets that also need to just stop posting everything anyone says about I told you how it works the other day about how there's no accountability for just spewing out all these kinds of rumors and things like that. I guess in the end, some of their reputations are gonna hurt a little bit.
Take a hit.
Just take a hit, yeah. Because you can't no longer really take it. And then also just how quickly he's firing back. I don't think he's ever had. I don't think entertainment media has had to deal with that in a while, because Disney usually doesn't respond to anyone, neither does Sony.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you have DC creators, DC talent doing all that. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, to say the least, and it kind of leads into the next part of this this saga, if you will, which was, of course, what's going to happen with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam. And so The Rock apparently had a meeting with Gunn, much like Cavill did, and what's her name from Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman 3, had a meeting as well. And excuse me, we have a statement from The Rock. So Rock says, "My passionate friends, I wanted to give you a long-awaited Black Adam update regarding the character's future in the new DCU. James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. However, DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters." I couldn't find the tweet again, but this morning I did read where Gunn responded to someone who asked about Elseworld stories, and he said that's actively happening, already, like active discussions. That is where most of us figure the Joker and the Batman stuff falls into, Elseworlds type stuff. James and I have known each other for years and have always rooted for each other to succeed. It's no different now, and I will always root for DC and Marvel to win and win big. He goes on to talk about thick skin, how proud he was to make Black Adam, and how thankful he is to the fans that supported it. He ends the thing saying, "What a hell of a month. Now we all need some Terramana." I don't know how to pronounce the word properly, but it's his tequila, if I'm not mistaken it, right? That's his tequila brand. I knew it was alcohol, I just couldn't remember what type. But have a productive week and happy holidays, DJ Dwayne Johnson. Well, the signature looks like it just says DJ, but Dwayne the Rock Johnson. The interesting line there, of course, is Black Adam being utilized in future DC multiverse chapters, but also, again, that kind of political language of $7. DC and $7 have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized. And in that one, I see not me and DC, but my production company, which means I still don't necessarily think we get the Rock back as Black Adam, but that he'll be producing, executive producing, or regular producing via $7, whatever they do with Black Adam in the future. That's kind of how I see it now. What do you think? Do we get the Rock back in the suit for something in the future?
Maybe, but I could also see Gunn stroking his ego a bit and maybe casting him as a bigger villain. It's like, all right, you like, listen, if you really want to be a major player as far as a villain, we may have to cast you as like Darkseid or something.
I don't see him as a Darkseid.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying like as a character like that, like as a bigger threat, or because like Black Adam, like, you know, like
he becomes Doomsday.
But yeah, but or I mean, given some of the hints that we've seen from Gunn himself, and now from Dwayne Johnson, and from Zachary Levi, I don't think everyone's leaving per se. He kind of pushed away because somebody was like, yeah, you already got rid of Cavill and Gal Gadot,
and he said,
he's like, no one ever
this booted.
Yeah, nobody ever said that Gal Gadot got booted. And then the Rock saying that he can explore a different something different down the line. I can see that happening because I despite wanting to reboot your universe, I don't think Gunn is that naive to think that, like, just to discount a presence like Dwayne Johnson, what he could bring to a film, as far as like fan attraction, in a healthier world, that is, and then also it seems like Shazam they still may be fiddling, doing something with that still with Zach Levi and some of those characters, just based on what
my favorite DC EU movie.
And
I like
so
Shazam.
It's like we can talk all we want, but we'll just wait till January and then we'll start getting the actual plan. But just I get it. you take whatever your source says because you need the clickbait, and and right now it's kind of like throwing gas on the fire. It's gonna just make a bigger storm, and then I don't even know if Gunn responding is helping, because it just prompts more of it. So more of that of like, well, you know what I heard is that they're gonna make Batman a woman, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not saying I heard that. I just outlandish things like
breaking. Batman to become woman. You mean Batwoman? No.
No, like it's Batman, but not. Anyway, yeah. So it's cool, because at least now I have the hope that there's a plan coming together. The last time I actually heard of a plan for DC was when Kevin Smith was on the CW with Jeff Johns, and we were promised the Green Lantern something, which to this day we haven't gotten.
Yep, and Flash and Cyborg movies, and
it's
team up stuff,
like, and it's funny because like most people are like, oh my god, like this is the worst thing ever. Like, no, it's not the worst thing ever. Like, studio executives to a certain degree wanted them to keep Cavill, but don't keep this person, keep this storyline going, but this doesn't count. We had 2 different versions of the Suicide Squad. We keep some of these characters, but some of these are already dead. We want you to bring this guy back. It's like there's like so many like problems that there's no way that this didn't need to be rebooted. Like it's just a lot. Yeah, and it's been owned by different people, and so you need to start from scratch. And if you don't understand this, then it's fine, and it's fine to be upset that some of these actors and kind of storylines are disappearing, but they don't fit. And continuing to try to build a 10-year plan with baggage was not ever gonna work.
Well, that baggage is exactly what I'm kind of curious on keeping anything, even the movies coming out next year. Even if it, like I've said, if the Flash doesn't actually set up what is next and help with the reset, is there any point in even seeing it? And
yes,
especially
there is
since
point to that. That's actually one of the most annoying statements people have been making.
Hold on, let me get there. You just mentioned about baggage. So if you can see it online right now with people talking about the well, if you're doing Elseworlds and multiverses, why not and I don't mean multiverses the game, multiverses the multiple universes. If you're gonna do multiverse stuff, why not let the Snyderverse carry on? Why not make more, and you've already got that, and by leaving anything from the past, and look, I'm not one of these that is I have no skin in the game. I'm nothing 90% of DC. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it doesn't break my heart, because I'm not as I don't care about the characters like I have Marvel in the past, where Phase 4 has gutted me. Like I've hated it because of how I feel like most DC fans have felt for years, or many DC fans have felt for years. So I'm not one of those that is wanting a reboot because of one particular reason or another. But if you still it just like teases things along, and it maintains that baggage. So unless some of this stuff is going to remain connected, DC multiverse stuff, and if that's not going to happen, then you need to do a full complete reboot. And then yes, the upcoming movies don't really, in the grand scheme of things, matter. Now if the Flash is a jump off point, does help reset it, then yeah, you kind of leave the other films even mattering just enough that it's a multiverse aspect. And again, that's looking at this not from individual movies, because you can't take connected universes as individual movies. They're just not. So that's why I'm saying, like, does it does it really look, I hope they're great and everyone goes to see them to help theaters make money and help actors and writers, cinematographers get their name on some build up their resume and things like that. I'm not hoping for these to fail. I want people to see them if they come out. But will the average audience who thinks that it doesn't matter go see it if it really looks like it doesn't matter? That's my kind of curiosity, and I'm more on the side of a complete and total ignore it all reboot.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong, Kyle.
Okay, go.
Yeah, no, they're comic book movies. Comic book arcs end all the time. This is one of those cases. If you just look at Aquaman, it hasn't necessarily connected with anything. Neither has Shazam. You have two movies.
Shazam really leaned heavy into the BVS imagery and
but it doesn't connect with anything other than name referencing.
Technically correct.
Never,
the best kind of
besides
correct.
Superman's chest, you never necessarily had it. Hell, it didn't even connect with Black Adam. If you think about it, so those are standard.
Well, I mean, Black Adam does connect to Shazam. It's got what's his name?
Oh my God, it does.
Wizard.
Yes, but it doesn't it doesn't connect as far as like you're not missing any characters in it. And even if the whether it continued or not, they stood on their own. Aquaman stood on its own. It didn't have any other characters that came in from any other projects. So 2 out of the 3 movies really, they do matter, and they matter as and just a standalone story reasons, and it's basically
to the average audience member who's looking for their next.
But they never
for the next DCU.
They never connected to anything. They never teased a bigger story. They never had an Avengers initiative.
You had characters from Aquaman in the Justice League movies, both of them.
Yeah, but in their own separate stories, they never connected. It's the same way as comic books work on the rack. You can read an Aquaman arc, and you never had to pick up a Batman book. You never had to pick up a Justice League book.
But that's not how they build it. That's not how they build it. That's not how they built the thing either. And I get that it works in comics.
If you watch Aquaman, just Aquaman or Shazam, you didn't need any other movie to explain to you what was going on.
But again, it's not what they've built. It's not what they've sold us or built their principles on. And it's just like trying to translate anime or manga into live action. Even when the Japanese do it, it really still sucks.
I feel like that's really a Marvel Studio mindset that you have right now.
What's that?
And you don't, and so like, are you saying that the Batman doesn't matter because it doesn't connect?
No, but it's been sold as not connecting. It's already been walled off. Yeah, it was already walled off. They already said outright, this is its own walled off thing, and I've said that. Because I was going back to your original point of baggage moving forward, if you wall it off as part of the multiverse, you still have that baggage going forward, because like I pointed out, you got people in the comments going, hey, if you're doing Elseworlds, let Snyderverse be Elseworlds. You're always going to maintain this type of stuff unless you either A, cut it completely out,
are you missing
or
story
B,
if you don't watch if you don't watch the Justice League, or if you don't watch Batman versus Superman, are you missing any of the Shazam story?
The BVS maybe a little.
You're not missing anything. Don't give me that.
The stuff with the nerdy kid. I said maybe a little. I didn't say yes. I get your point, but also my point being that you cannot compare the way comic books are done, which are expected to have messed up timelines, but individual one shots, what ifs, Elseworlds, multiple universes, things like that, is not what they built and delivered in movies. That's for Marvel or DC. It's a different medium. Just like I was trying to point out about anime and manga being translated into live action, there's certain things that work on a printed page, or even in a cartoon for that matter, video games, that don't work well going into movies. And again, you got lots of people that might be that might even say that they are DC Comics fans, Marvel Comics fans, and they've read some mainline books and stuff like that, but they're not comic book invested. They don't really see the differences in all of the universes and things like that. And then you got your casual, I'm a Marvel or DC movie only fan that are used to these, all self-contained, connected universes. I think that plays on these box offices next year. That's why I keep saying, does it matter to me? Again, I am not personally invested. I could see these all by themselves. I could see these as part of a bigger universe. It's not going to bug me that much one way or the other. I like Shazam. Even if you tell me he's out tomorrow, I'm still going to see Shazam too, because I actually liked that movie. But what does it mean for everyone? I'm definitely not the general audience on any level. I'm batshit crazy, one. But I do. And if people feel it doesn't matter, that's going to hurt them at the box office. So I really care. And again, goes back to your thing on baggage. If they leave it as a possibility of still being connected, does that hurt things going forward because of all the baggage with it? I don't know.
They're going to be fine.
I hope they are fine. I'm going to be fine regardless, because I again have the anime to fall back on, and I'll always have plenty more outrage. Instead of just bringing up topics here, I can always have plenty of outrage with decisions Marvel is making. Although I don't really have much outrage for today's stories. So did you hear about how you can maintain the prestige of Logan in Deadpool 3, even bringing back Jackman as Wolverine? It's a cop-out in a way, but it's something that we all kind of figured was coming. Now, I don't want to call them spoilers because this is Jackman himself saying it, and it kind of plays off the rumor that we would get Mobius. Sorry, guys. Mobius from Loki in Deadpool 3. Time travel. Again.
He's done it.
I mean, yeah, they've done it. Both Deadpool and Logan. That's why I kind of said again. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't care for Jackman as Wolverine. I really, really don't. I think this love affair with the Foxmen that you guys have after years of hashtag give the rights back to Marvel is hypocritical and ridiculous. But I know a lot have reverence for Jackman. But this just seems, I'm kind of like, it'd be more interesting to be a multiverse story than a time jump timeline.
I'll be honest, story. Man. I'm starting to get a little concerned with Marvel Studios, and it actually kind of ties into what we were just talking about. Instead of going forward and showcasing specific, just awesome characters that the vast library of Marvel has, they are instead deciding to cop out and reach out for nostalgia over and over and over again with characters that you very, very bluntly pointed out nobody used to like, but now
box office proves it.
And it's just I started thinking about it the other day, just like, wait a minute, they're just giving us the old characters to just. I was like, okay, so like where's, and I think it stemmed from trying to think about, okay, where's the current superstars that I'm supposed to be focusing on, as far as like, where's the Tony Stark that we're building? Where's the Steve Rogers that we're building? Where is the Thor that we're building to really reach that peak Avengers movie? When we get Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, where are those characters that are really going to just pull out my heartstrings, that we're building for the next years? Like Marvel really did very well the first time around. The answer is they don't have any. I don't think they do. I do not think I don't think Anthony Mackie as an actor is good enough to be that superstar. I don't think that Sebastian Stan's Winter Soldier is a Avengers lead. I don't see, and it has to do more with the way that they've been written so far, where I don't feel like their characters are that important. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear yourself, but I can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was saying that I like Mackie. I think he's great. I just don't know if they've built his character up enough to be an Avengers team leader. I don't necessarily think it's the actors thing. I think it's personally, I think it's more of the story and character thing so far. And but they could build him up to that level. I mean, he's only had his first lead thing or co-lead thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was mostly good. It's the but you're 100% right. It's like you look at it and you're like, well, we don't really know what the future holds for Spider-Man. So we know we're not going to get him as a leader. Excuse me. We don't have. I mean, you can see the new Black Widow in Florence Pugh's Yelena being, you know, an analog for her sister, you know, Natasha Romanoff. But, you know, there's not Thunderbolts coming out, big whoop. You've got which I heard there's a rumor Sentry will be the bad guy instead of Hyperion. But
Sentry's
I
not
mentioned
a great character.
I know, right? Bendis. I had mentioned that when people were like, "Oh, Cavill could play the Superman character in Thunderbolts," and everyone thinks it's Hyperion, and I was like, "It could be, but it could also be Sentry," which would be odd because that is when the Sentry does go bad and the Void comes into play. That's an Avengers level thing, not a Thunderbolts level thing. But yeah, Doc Strange. Maybe if Multiverse of Mayhem had been good. Or Multiverse of Madness had been good. Marvel Multiverse Mayhem is our show, but it wasn't.
It was good.
It was okay.
It was good.
It was a nostalgia and barely nostalgia because most of the callbacks were to modern things. But you had what's his name, Patrick Stewart as Xavier.
It was good.
It was fine. It was not great.
It was good. It was good.
Mostly it's all right. Yeah, man, I lost my point because you were sitting there distracting me with saying that it was good.
It was
fine. It was like a B plus maybe.
So
It's
B plus
fine.
is just fine now?
Yeah, that it's fine.
God.
It's not bad.
Just say it's good then.
Because I can't really call.
Well, then don't give it a B plus. A B plus
can't-
is almost an A.
So look, no, because here's how I think I broke it down in my review. Even as a movie on its own, just coming off of Doc Strange 1 and then going into Spider-Man and into this, it's fine. Yes, it's relatively competently made, relatively well executed. But it suffers from the same bullshit that the rest of Phase 4 did. It felt like it had no consequences, ignored a bunch of shit that came from before it, and what it did use from what came before it, it kind of ruined it. That, i.e., the Scarlet Witch's arc and storyline. So in the grander connected field of things, yeah, I actually would probably give it about a C plus. Yeah, I would. And that's why, to me, it's okay, because I cannot separate it from everything else that plugs into it, both before and on the output coming next. It doesn't feel like it fit crap. It doesn't change crap. It frack, Marvel, you suck. Anyways, I'm going to end up talking about Marvel like I do Sony.
No, I think it was really a great conclusion over to what we had started over at WandaVision, and even before in Age of Ultron, which is one of my least favorite Marvel Studios movies. But at the end of the day, I did like that we kind of wrapped that up, and Doc Strange, we got a little bit more from him, and I think as a story on its own, I enjoyed the movie quite a bit, and that's why it's one of the top films of the year.
Well, what do you think about doing this time travel stuff for Deadpool? Just whatever.
At this point, like I said, I don't really care, just because of the fact that they keep like I said, they keep reaching into the bin for these old characters instead of taking the time to develop new ones or current ones. I mean,
or just at least recast.
in WandaVision, what did we get? The old Evan Peters. In you mentioned Multiverse of Madness, what did we get? The old Xavier. We're gonna get the old Wolverine. We're gonna and don't bet that there's gonna be a couple more. And then and then the lazy way of introducing mutants, of just saying he's a mutant. Oh my god, a mutant. It's like, no, like they didn't really, like, I think the worst one of them all was the one that upset me the most was season finale of She-Hulk, when she asked about X-Men and everyone freaked out as if there were X-Men on screen.
Yeah.
Nothing happened, guys. Absolutely nothing happened. And so I think that they're gonna be able to dangle that carrot for another 5 years. Because I don't see any X-Men coming through until after Secret Wars. But like Deadpool, like it's his own thing, so like also whatever. Like he can use whatever he wants, and I'm not really upset. But don't tell me he's part of the MCU.
Yeah, and again, that's that whole what actually has consequences and things like that I've been wondering about, because Feige keeps selling us one thing because they're delivering us something else.
If you want to see how screwed up they can get, just look at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like, where does Morbius stand? Where does Venom stand? Where is he? Is he MCU? Is he another thing? What
about Kraven? What about Madam Web? What about the Hypno Hustler?
Yeah. Well, so yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Screw you, Sony. I hate you, Sony, so much. I want to nip some controversy in the bud, man. Did you hear this casting rumor about Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four?
No.
Eiza Gonzalez, 32-year-old Mexican actress, was in the From Dusk Till Dawn series. Was also in Baby Driver and Alita Battle Angel. She is rumored via My Time to Shine on Twitter that she's a top choice for Sue Storm. And the reason why I said I want to nip some controversy in the bud is because, well, she's Hispanic. Sue Storm is traditionally in the comics a blonde-haired white chick. But I think a lot of people forget that Jessica Alba, whose paternal grandparents were Mexican immigrants, raised in a what she describes as very Latin American type household. She was Sue Storm.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of curious as to how all this will play. I really don't have any issue with it. I don't think Sue Storm's race is one of those that does matter much at all. We've already seen some race swapping with other past things in the Fantastic Four, including, like I said, Jessica Alba. What do you think? I don't know if you've seen any of the projects that I mentioned she's been in, or anything else she's been in, Miss Gonzalez, but what do you think about doing a more Hispanic, obviously Hispanic looking, because they put Jessica in blonde hair and all of that? I don't know. What do you think?
It doesn't matter. Just give me someone good. Like honestly, I don't really care what race she is. As long as
do you think there'll be controversy?
There'll always be controversy, man. I was watching it because at the station we obviously have a ton of all the channels are up basically. And Fox News was doing a whole segment on why Avatar characters can't be white, and I'm talking about the indigenous ones. Why white people can't play blue characters, and I thought it was funny. There's always going to be I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was I didn't turn it up the volume because,
I mean, Sam Worthington's white, isn't he? Isn't he the white boy
there's
from
not
the
enough
first
white
movie?
people according to Fox News.
And then the bad guy from the last movie, played by Stephen Lang, he's white, right? Whatever.
That's what I thought too, but apparently now,
and he's blue now, the way I understand.
Your people are very threatened by the rise of Hispanics in Hollywood.
Hey, I said we should just go ahead, mix everyone all together. I told my wife, for the betterment of humanity, I will go out there and make babies, and she hit me. So I was like,
I was like, that probably didn't end well. Yeah, I just like there's sometimes when certain characters, for story for historic purposes and for story's sake, need to stay their right gender and their right race.
And you and I have also pointed to times where we've questioned, was the casting more of a statement versus giving it to the best person suited for the job? And you and I are both pretty consistent in that we take these castings case by case. If we smell something that's agenda-ish, or something that might even be a kind of a strike at some other side, we'll call that out. I don't think this is necessarily one. If anything, it stays they're being clever in their ability to be like, but what about the last, what about the first one we did, I do like the age. Ms. Gonzalez looks young. They could always have her playing much younger. They could have her playing slightly older, but the kind of mid-30s aged Fantastic Four is what I've been wanting.
Also, think about this.
So yeah,
you can also I know there's gonna have to be a different way to get to get down this path. But if you cast her, you can also justify the Namor Sue Storm relationship a little bit more.
Why? Because you can only date within your race.
No, but it would make
racist, stuck up pig.
given how
how he was very much about his culture, in the film. Yes,
that's
I knew,
where it makes
I knew
sense.
what you were.
Yeah.
I know where you were wanting to go. Just wanted to call you out.
You can call me a racist. I do not care. I will call out things the way I see them, as far as like,
oh yeah,
James Bond shouldn't be a woman, because then it's not James Bond. Literally the name
James Bond.
And
James Bond could for sure be a black man. There's been black men in England for quite a while. In the UK for quite a while.
If he is a different race, fine, I don't care. But given the character and his characteristics, James freaking Bond. That is one horse that I will never soapbox that'll never come off of. And I think that was the big like, I don't like Shuri playing the Black Panther. Like, it's a title. It's not the Black Panther is a title. It's not a character.
Yes.
That didn't bother me. What bothered me. What didn't bother me,
not for that reason.
Comical.
Not for that reason at all.
No, actually, especially even after the movie, it's like, oh shoot, Coogler, you managed to somehow develop it for me to actually be like, yeah, this works. Although there were some other choices that were kind of
that's what I mean. Like, I would have preferred a different choice. Not that this ended badly, just there were, in my opinion, better ways to go.
Yeah, I think my issue is, and thank God, you know what? Thank God for The Boys, because anything they see in Marvel or DC that is that they find to be ridiculous, they go ahead and exploit it either on Twitter or on or in the show, because that whole women empowerment thing that they were like making fun of all stemmed from Endgame's pose that they did, where they all come together,
the A-Force moment, as it's become known.
apparently the producers, who are men and women, thought that was so ridiculous that they
Dude,
made it an entire part of
my
the show.
my sister, my wife, my buddy Brian, who does AVR with us, the anime show, his sister, every female that I had a working relationship with in the military that had seen the movie, spouses of male soldiers that had seen the film. Like, I cannot point to a single female that liked that scene, that felt it was good, was empowering. Every last one that I personally know, which is just anecdotal, but I know a lot of men that say the exact same thing, none of them liked it. Nick sure seemed to think it was fitting at the time. Yeah. And I think even Janet liked it and was like, oh, I support it. It's kind of cringy, but so is the men lining up. And it's like, no one's saying necessarily that that it's easier to accept a mixed group or men. What we're pointing out is that, one, how did they all get from all over the battlefield to this one moment? And we had just seen Captain Marvel plow through a barrage of fire from a ship and then destroy the ship herself, and you're telling me she can't bullet through a bunch of faceless, nameless baddies? Come on now. It was poorly written, it was poorly executed, and it was meant to be, and you just had a big charge with everyone, which included females, some of which were close to that center shot. But yes, they focused on their big 6+, or well, 5 by that point. It was. Do you know any females that were gung-ho about that scene personally?
No, actually, I think they sounded kind of condescending, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but yeah, no. Back to your original point. I don't care who plays Sue Storm as long as they're just good actors. Because
I like the age. What do you think about the age?
No, I think she'd be great. I think she personally would be great. It'd be cool.
And then the other part of that was Silver Surfer being in the reboot, which makes sense because we've heard that this is going to be a timepiece set off of Earth, which is something that I've wanted. Like I said, having time dilation, not necessarily time travel, but where time moved faster on Earth than it does for them where they're at, is great. And I wanted to go bold with this Fantastic Four.
Speaking of that, do you think we can have Secret Wars without Galactus?
Galactus wasn't really a big part of Secret Wars.
He was chilling,
and Doom was. Yeah. Doom and Magneto are more important than Galactus.
I agree that they're more important.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
I thought he I'm trying to I hope I'm not mixing things up, but I think that he was like, for a while he stood there and then like he started doing stuff. It's been a minute since I read it, but
if anything, he was there trying to eat it.
I think he was. Okay, maybe he was more of a background thing. And I'm thinking of him in something else, but
maybe. I don't really remember.
Is that where he? I don't know.
I don't remember him being a big part of it. But
I agree. If Doctor Doom is not in their version of Secret Wars, I'm gonna have the same issue as Civil War. So
yeah,
if not bigger this time.
Yeah, I get it. I like I said, I wanted to go bold with the Fantastic Four, and I would have loved if they had if they would if they came out of their time dilation. Like I said, after it's only been like 6-7 years for them, but it's been 70-80 years for us. And they've already got Valeria and Franklin. Absolutely. I think going ahead and doing that, and maybe even running more, still calling it Fantastic Four, but running it more like Future Foundation would be, I don't know. I think I would support that more than just a complete traditional take on them, first family before kids and all that. But we'll We'll see. Anyways, we've had quite the long show today, ladies and gentlemen. You guys should all check out lrmonline.com every day for all entertainment news, needs, and opinions, written articles. We've got celebrity interviews and more. There's my browser. All available for you guys right there, lrmonline.com. Podcasts go up on all your favorite podcast apps like Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Amazon Music. AVR for anime reviews, Breaking Geek, kind of like us, but longer, only on Fridays. The Cantina, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem, doing Star Wars and Marvel stuff. All of those go up here on the YouTube channel as well as anime reactions on AVR Squared and genre shot trailer reactions. You guys can check out Manny and I react to the Barbie trailer, but you can also get more context by watching the full Daily Cup of Genre episode that came out that day as well. Anything else to say, Manny?
I thought there was, and then now I don't remember. I am currently accepting applications for a 2023 baseball season because the San Francisco Giants are currently dead to me. And I mean their front office, because they're terrible people who apparently cannot figure out how to spend money and just are today the embarrassment, the freaking embarrassment of baseball, because you guys are awful. So here you should be fired. Absolutely fired, gone. We'll go get Jonah Hill to get to start and recruiting signing talent, because apparently you can't sign anyone. You're more embarrassing than the A's today.
Bye guys.